Kevin? Looks like you're having some spaghetti tonight.
This? Yeah, I know why that company's called Spaghetti Engineering. Oh, Spaghetti Engineering. Yeah. These are the Digi-Tails, digital taillights.
That's a taillight?
Doesn't look like one, does it?
No.
All these little white dots are LEDs, right? And when you step on the brake, they all light up. But there's a switch on here on the back side. And you can set it so when you step on the brake, they light up in sequence across, which is pretty cool too. We're using these because the LEDs are much brighter than a standard 1157 taillight bulb. So this car is going to get driven a lot, and we want it to be safe, and we want to have a lot of visibility. So Spaghetti Engineering is the company that makes these. And this is the spaghetti.
Why is it a spaghetti? What do you have to do here?
It's really not so bad. This is a new reproduction harness, taillight harness we got from year one. Okay. And what we did is you have to change the connectors. This is the new Spaghetti Engineering connector for the light. Okay. Instead of it used to have a taillight bulb, like this. This is actually the reverse light. So you got to make a few splices, and what I like to do when I do this stuff is I unwrap all of the wrap on the harness, and then use green tape to kind of tape the wires together that are supposed to go together. And then I make my splice, and like this one here, you cut it and you solder it and you shrink wrap it and put it all back together, and then we'll rewrap this whole thing, and it'll look just like an original deal, except it'll have different plugs on the end, which is, it's kind of cool. And then this light element actually goes in the taillight bucket, and it just fits right inside the original lens, and you'll never know the difference.
Very cool.
It is very cool. These kind of things, they'll make the car unique, but the one thing that you gotta take a look at before you do this
are the instructions.
Well, you should look at the instructions. Okay.
Right.
We actually have a little spot in our forum called "Things Missing from Instructions," and I think they need to clarify just a little bit on the Spaghetti Engineering instructions, because here it says step 2. Remove the taillight bezel and lens. Well, here's the bezel and lens. Usually the bezel's the this, and the lens is the this.
Right.
Well, they show that the taillight bucket has been removed, but I kind of thought that was just for purpose of illustration. But in reality, the taillight bucket and bezel and lens should all come off. And ours are already on. And
why are they on?
Well, we put them on because after the car got painted,
for sanding purposes.
Yeah, for sanding and buffing, it all got put back together.
Right.
Well, the way the '69 Chevelle works, this bezel, when it goes on, there's no holes on the outside that you see. There's holes on the backside that come through the bucket.
In the trunk.
Well, not really, because the trunk doesn't have any holes that go all the way through.
Right.
This is supposed to attach to the bucket, and the bucket attaches to the car. Oh. And there's a little lip on the bottom of the bucket, which might hook on the bumper.
And we already have our bumper on, too.
Our bumper's on, too, and our bumper didn't fit that well. It was difficult to put together, so we might have to take the bumper off and pull these buckets out carefully without scratching them. So what we would recommend is to our friends at Spaghetti, the quality of this LED panel is phenomenal. I mean, this is like aerospace. It's just amazing how nicely they made this. And the connectors are beautiful, and the rest of the instructions are fantastic. It's a really nice deal, and the way it looks when they're on, it's tremendous. I would just add to the step 2, you might have to remove the bucket. Well, you have to remove the bucket to get this on, because you can't get to the axis. You can't get to the screws. Other than that, it's cool. Right on. Lesson learned by us. What else happened today? Oh, the motor.
The motor.
Motor got painted. Go check that out.
What kind of preparation did you have to do to paint a motor? Because, they're usually covered in oil. What'd you guys do?
Well, first the motor was hot tanked and cleaned up at Fast Times. Once we got it back, we washed the whole motor off with lacquer thinner, and a spray gun, an old spray gun, just washed it clean, getting rid of all fingerprints and motor oil that they used to assemble it. Then we red Scotch brite it, all the metal, cast iron, aluminum, whatever it was on there. And then we sanded the oil pan up real good because it was bare steel, took out any gouges. And then we went from bare metal and aluminum and cast iron to acid etch.
What does the acid etch do?
The acid etch increases adhesion promotion to all different substrates.
So it didn't matter what metal you put it on?
It bites into everything, and there's no fill to it at all. It's just an adhesion. It's a see-through, transparent like yellow. And then we went from there. We went to DP to give us a little bit of fill.
And DP is like a primer too, right?
DP is an epoxy primer or an epoxy sealer. It can be mixed either way, sprayed wet on wet. Once the DP flashed off, we went to base coat, clear coat, and that's what PPG said we could do.
And how do you think it turned out?
It's pretty.
It's pretty even though it's orange, huh?
Pretty damn orange.
Okay.
It's a stock 396.
It's a what, Kevin?
It's a stock 396.
Is that what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah, for the most part, at first glance.
Is everybody convinced by looking at this orange motor that it's a 396? Or can you obviously tell? Is there some of you out there who are still going to be tricked?
Well, here's the tricks. Here's the giveaways, right? Let's go around to the front.
Okay.
This surface here is very smooth. Machined
Yeah.
aluminum, and it still says Holly in it.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's obviously an aluminum head that's been painted orange.
Okay.
Some people actually, to really disguise this stuff, they mill that off and they texture these to look like cast iron.
Oh.
So when you open the hood, everything looks orange like cast iron.
Okay.
And then those are the ones that really fool you.
Oh.
The other thing on this motor is the Arp Fasteners,
Yeah.
which are all 12-point, very nice, instead of old style 6-point bolts.
Okay.
And then of course the intake manifold, which is masked off, is aluminum. Now the original Chevy manifold in a 396, I believe, was aluminum, but it certainly didn't look like this.
Never mind the nitrous plate.
Well, yeah, then there's that, So yeah, there's a few things. Here's another giveaway.
Another giveaway?
This is,
Oh, on the motor?
yeah, this is a new Wyand, I believe it's an Action Plus water pump.
Yeah.
Although it's orange,
Right.
it has these very cool
Swirlies. Check
turbines.
those out.
Those were not found on an original big block Chevy water pump, and nor was the word Wyand in here. This is a very nice high flow pump that's it'll be great. It'll keep this thing cool all the time, and it again is aluminum painted orange. But at first glance, if the owner is going to try and deceive somebody with this, he's going to stand by the hood and go, "Yeah, I'll show you the motor." He's going to open it, and he's going to slam it, and that's it. And all you're going to see is orange, and you might not know the difference.
I wouldn't know the difference.
That's how I would do it. Maybe he'll race you.
Ha ha ha! An idea is born.
Oh.